They thought she didn't belong. A 12-year-old black girl, walking into a luxury boutique on Madison Avenue, mocked, humiliated, and dismissed like she was invisible. But what those women didn't know was that Naomi Carter's mother was about to arrive, and when she did, she would silence them all in a way they would never forget. The glass doors of Maison Elise, one of Manhattan's most exclusive boutiques, glimmered in the late afternoon sun. Inside, marble floors reflected the glow of crystal chandeliers. Dresses that cost more than some people's annual rent floated gracefully on mannequins. Naomi Carter, just 12 years old, pushed open the door nervously. She clutched the wrinkled hand of her grandmother, Evelyn, who walked with quiet dignity despite her worn shoes and simple wool coat. Naomi's dark brown eyes sparkled with excitement. She had dreamed of this moment for weeks. Tonight, she would choose a dress for her middle school graduation, a scholarship kit at one of New York's most prestigious private schools. But the moment Naomi stepped in, the whispers began. At the counter, Rachel Adams, a tall blonde saleswoman with flawless makeup and an air of entitlement, glanced over and smirked. She whispered loudly to her colleague, Monica Green, the boutique's head associate. "Rachel, I think someone's lost. The children's store is 2 floors up." Naomi froze. Her small fingers tightened around Evelyn's hand. "Evelyn," voice calm but firm, "we're looking for a dress. My granddaughter has an important occasion." Monica walked over, eyes sweeping from Evelyn's scuffed handbag to Naomi's secondhand sneakers. She forced a smile. "Monica, our dresses start at $3,500. Perhaps Macy's would be more suitable." A hush fell over the store. Other shoppers looked on, curiosity mixing with disdain. A woman with a Hermes bag muttered to her friend, "Honestly, anyone can walk in anywhere these days." Naomi felt her cheeks burn, but she lifted her chin, remembering Evelyn's constant words. "Dignity is priceless, Naomi. Never forget that." "Evelyn, steady. She's worked hard. She deserves something special." Rachel snickered. "Well, you can look, but please don't touch. These gowns are delicate." They guided Naomi and Evelyn to the back corner, 3 outdated dresses dangling on crooked hangers. "Rachel, these are more realistic for you. They're discounted. $2,100, final sale. And before any fittings, we'll need a credit card. Store policy in certain situations." The cruelty was deliberate. Other shoppers smirked, pretending to browse while watching the humiliation unfold. A voice whispered just loud enough, "Poor things. Probably saw the store in a magazine." Naomi's eyes filled with tears, but she bit her lip. She had survived cruel whispers at school, but this was different. She tugged Evelyn's hand. "Grandma, maybe we should go." Evelyn, squeezing her hand gently, "No, darling. Your mother will be here soon. She promised." Monica rolled her eyes. "Another one? We don't allow crowds in here." The boutique phone rang. Rachel picked up, her voice suddenly polished. "Rachel, Maison Elise, Madison Avenue. How may I help you?" On the other end, a calm, sharp voice. "This is Alyssa Carter. My daughter and mother are in your store. I've just been informed they're being treated inappropriately. Put your manager on the line. Now." Rachel paled. She covered the receiver, whispering to Monica, "Alyssa Carter, that name sounds familiar." Monica frowned, glancing nervously at Naomi. Evelyn smiled faintly. "Yes, my daughter has always been protective." On the phone, Alyssa's voice dropped lower, colder. "Interesting. You claim exceptional service. Then why is my 12-year-old crying? Why is my mother being pushed toward clearance racks in the back? I'll be there in 3 minutes. Use that time to think about how you'll explain this." The line clicked. Silence blanketed the boutique. Monica swallowed hard. Something in Alyssa's tone had triggered primal fear. Evelyn checked her watch. "You had your chance to do the right thing. Now you'll see what happens when you underestimate people." Outside, the roar of a luxury engine stopped at the curb. Rachel whispered, "Oh no, she's here." The glass doors opened. Alyssa Carter stepped inside. At 29, she was breathtaking in her simplicity, dark jeans, a crisp white blouse, sneakers. Nothing flashy. Yet the moment she walked in, the entire boutique shifted. Power radiated from her calm, measured stride. Naomi ran into her arms. "Mom!" Alyssa hugged her tightly, whispering, "I'm here, baby." Then her eyes lifted, locking on Rachel and Monica. Her voice stayed soft, but her words cut like glass. "Tell me, how was the treatment my family received here?" Evelyn's lips curved. "Very educational, dear. Very educational." Rachel stammered. "And Mrs. Carter, a misunderstanding, I assure you." "Of course, we can serve your family perfectly." "Alyssa, now you can." Interesting how quickly the options change. Naomi leaned against her mother, and Alyssa stroked her daughter's hair. Her wrist caught Rachel's eye. On it, a Patek Philippe watch worth more than the boutique's rent. Alyssa's phone buzzed. She answered. "Alyssa, Daniel?" "Yes, come in. Bring the documents and the team." Rachel frowned. "Team." Within minutes, the doors opened again. Daniel Price, one of Manhattan's most feared civil rights attorneys, strode in with two women, Sarah Liu, a New York Times journalist, and Maya Ortiz, a CNN producer. Cameras and notepads ready. Rachel and Monica froze. Their smug confidence evaporated. Alyssa gestured calmly. "Meet Rachel Adams and Monica Green. Today, they gave us an enlightening demonstration of discrimination in luxury retail." Daniel clicked on a recorder. "Perfect. Victoria." "Sorry, Alyssa. You know I love a well-documented case." Rachel's face drained of color. Monica's hands shook. Alyssa's tone sharpened. "You judged my daughter by her skin. You judged my mother by her coat. You made them feel less than human. And discrimination has consequences." "Daniel, ladies, you have two options. 1. You admit fault, commit to new policies, and avoid public humiliation. 2. This becomes national news. Your choice." Rachel panicked. I'll admit it. It was wrong. Please." Monica clenched her jaw. "We followed store policy." "This is ridiculous." Alyssa's eyes narrowed. "Ridiculous? You demanded a credit card before letting a child try on a dress. You told my mother to go to Macy's. You laughed when my daughter cried. That's not policy, that's prejudice." At that moment, the boutique's general manager, Caroline Brooks, rushed down the stairs. "Caroline, Miss Carter. What an honor. If there was any problem—" Alyssa cut her off. "How many times have you trained your staff on racial discrimination, Caroline?" Caroline stuttered. We have policies." Maya Ortiz, camera rolling. "Policies clearly not working." "Care to comment?" Rachel broke down, tears spilling. "I have children. Please, I need this job." Evelyn stepped forward, voice steady as stone. "I cleaned houses for 40 years. I was humiliated more times than I can count. But never once did I treat another human being as less than me. Having children should teach you kindness, not cruelty." Naomi squeezed her grandmother's hand, her young face glowing with pride. Alyssa finally spoke, cold but calm. "Rachel, Monica, you're terminated. Caroline, you have 48 hours to implement anti-discrimination training. Fail, and this boutique loses its lease. I own this building. Consider this your final warning." Gasps rippled. Alyssa Carter didn't just shop here. She owned the very ground they stood on. Rachel collapsed into sobs. Monica stared, pale as marble. Caroline looked like she might faint. Alyssa turned to Naomi. "Come on, sweetheart. Let's go find a store where you'll be treated like the princess you are." But the story didn't end there. Naomi had snapped a single photo during the confrontation. Alyssa standing tall, the saleswomen pale with panic, cameras rolling. She posted it online. Within hours, it went viral. #Justice for Naomi trended nationwide. News outlets replayed Alyssa's calm takedown. Parents across America shared their own stories of children humiliated in stores. The movement spread like wildfire. Rachel and Monica became infamous. Fired, blacklisted, forced to leave New York. Caroline publicly apologized on live television and launched a scholarship for minority students interested in fashion. And Alyssa, she turned the moment into something bigger. She launched the Naomi Foundation, dedicated to protecting children from discrimination in public spaces. Within 6 months, the foundation documented and resolved over 200 cases nationwide. Naomi's graduation day came. She wore a shimmering gown from a small, black-owned boutique in Brooklyn, where the owners treated her like royalty. Cameras flashed, networks aired her story, and Evelyn sat in the front row, tears streaming down her face. Later, Naomi asked her mother quietly, "Mom, why didn't you just shout at them that day? Why not get angry?" Alyssa smiled, hugging her daughter. Because true strength isn't about shouting louder. It's about using your voice in the smartest way possible. Evelyn added, her voice trembling with pride. Respect is not optional, Naomi. And today, the world learned it the hard way. Naomi looked at them both and whispered, "Then I promise, when I grow up, I'll never let anyone treat another child the way they treated me." The boutique on Madison Avenue never recovered its reputation. But something greater rose from the ashes, a movement that proved prejudice carries a price. Rachel and Monica became a cautionary tale. Caroline rebuilt her career by dedicating herself to diversity and inclusion. And Naomi? She carried that day in her heart forever. Because the moment they tried to break her was the moment she discovered the power of dignity, family, and justice. This isn't just Naomi's story. It's a story for every child who has ever been told they don't belong. Remember, dignity is non-negotiable. Respect is not optional. And true class, it always wins.